I was born in the Welsh Wales Valleys of Wales in 1973 at... What? Oh, it's not that sort of video, sorry. Okay, this right here is the sketch that started it all.
Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Jeff Paints, but today I'm not doing any painting. No.
You're gonna see some stuff of mine from like way back in the day, when I was cool, and I used to do graffiti. Yeah.
It's not that I think I'm anybody important, anybody special. I just thought, as I've been doing this now since about 2003-04, that you might like to see some of the stuff that I've done before. So basically, just a little bit of history of how I got from something like this to something like that. So, yes, where to begin? I'm not sure.
Oof. I have been drawing graffiti since I was a kid. I'm a child of the 80s, so I was here when it first hit these shores. Picked up my first spray can when I was about 12 or 13. I had a bit of a mess around on a mate's garage wall. Didn't really go to plan. I didn't have any can control. It was basically just a mess. I think I wrote Zephyr, he wrote Psycho. We had a copy of Subway Art, obviously. I really loved art when I was a kid. I was constantly drawing stuff. We'd have drawing competitions when I was really small, me and my dad and my sister. So yeah, always drawing. I went into photography as my kind of specialist subject, if you like. When I finished college, I had a little bit of spare time, and so I started documenting the graffiti that was around me in Exeter, and I started a website to have something to do with all of these photographs called spacehop.50g.com, which is sadly no longer online. It was a collection of Exeter graffiti between about 2003 to about 2007. So yeah, put a lot of effort into doing that, and as a result of making the website and photographing graffiti, I met a couple of graffiti artists. So Gone and Mesh were from the EL3 crew, and I was showing them my sketches one day, showing them my book of work. They came to this piece, and that was it. They just said, you have to paint this, you have to paint this on a wall. My painting style, it turns out, was a little bit different to my drawing style. So my first actual graffiti piece looked like this. And here is the original sketch for my sweet honeybee. Oh, yeah, nice. So the first piece that I ever did was from a good lady wife, because I'm a soppy git like that. Yeah. So when I was at college, me and a mate of mine were superfly DJs. We needed names, and we were walking around the fair city of Bath, and we came across two t-shirts. One of the t-shirts had a space hopper on it. The other t-shirt had a jelly head on it. And so from then on, we became known as Space Hop and Jellyhead. When it came to choosing a graffiti name, Space Hop had always been the thing that had been with me. So it seemed the logical thing to do. Space Hop became Space Hop Star, the Space Hopster, and eventually it was shortened to just Star. I've shown you my first piece. Here is my second piece, and it took until the third piece before I painted that sketch that I talked about right at the beginning. Took a little bit of time for me to pluck up the courage to do something like that. I mean, it's not bad for a third piece, but like I say, Gone and Mesh loved what I was doing, And then basically I spent the next year and a half every weekend, every Saturday, if not every Saturday and Sunday, painting walls. Really got the bug, even though I was still a little bit of a toy and still didn't really know what I was doing. I was loving it. Any excuse to get out and paint. So we had this spot called the Chrome Wall, which was an old Ministry of Defence base. It was brilliant, aircraft hangar sized buildings with long walls in them that we could just paint. So yeah, we used to spend hours and hours and hours. The Chroma, that was a good time. So I've been going along quite nicely, painting my colourful STA pieces, when I drew this sketch. And this sketch was a game changer, because, like I say, this was the first time that I thought I was doing something different. I was kind of taking influences from people like Dimey Dame, you know, that guy, this guy. And people like Loomit, and yeah, just kind of starting to play around with shapes rather than drawing traditional letters. So my kind of sketches started to reflect that, and eventually my wall pieces started to reflect that as well. So we entered into a new stage of Star, where we're a little bit more graphic-y. Yeah, I liked this stage. It was a nice stage. So after drawing and painting a couple more of these kind of graphic-y pieces, I decided to play around with it a little bit more and try to develop it a little bit further. So I drew this sketch for the Oblivion Skate Day, which happened in 2006, I think it was, at Exeter Skate Park. And when I painted it, it was the first piece that I was really pleased with. I thought I was kind of getting to grips with how to use a can. I was pleased with the kind of the colour scheme, and I especially liked all this kind of flowy stuff that was going on. So I decided to change the sketches that I was producing from this kind of hard graphic-y edge to these much rounder, softer edges. And then I started to add some bits around them, doing that kind of candy star style with all of the stripes on them. Started me thinking that I could wrap things around the letters to just give it something a bit more, and so I started playing around with that idea. At first they were quite hard edged, but as soon as I switched it up and changed it so that the edges were rounder and that the coverings were rounder, I really started to like what I was doing. This then became my style, and these were my graffiti years. These were the good times, when I knew I was going to go and paint a wall, and I could kind of hold my own, if you like, with at least with the people that I was painting with. Some of the time. Sometimes I was painting with absolute legends, and there was no way that I was going to match their skills, but yeah, I mean, I think I did all right. Yeah, that became my start. That became my thing. I wrapped everything, and yeah, I think in the end it was sort of bandages, maybe. That's kind of what it looked like. I did this sketch. I don't think I ever actually painted this one, but yeah, this I think kind of summed up what was going on around my pieces. So I want to talk about this little character here. Now we have to go back to this piece and this piece to see where this sort of came from. I started to animate the letters a little bit, putting little eyes in them, so a little thing kind of peeping out at the top of the bandages. Then I did this sketch, and I kind of drew this little character here up in the top corner, and decided that I could make something, a little character which I could then wrap in bandages. Called him the Ninja Star. I've never really successfully painted him on a wall freehand, so maybe that's something that I will do one day. I have painted him many other times, but in a different way, which I'll talk about in a mo. So one of the annoying things about graffiti is that when you paint a wall, there is no guarantee that that wall will still be there. Well, the wall will still be there, but what you've painted on it will still be there a day later, half a day later, an hour later. That's just the game. You paint, you take your photo, you walk away, you kind of forget about it. But after doing this for a couple of years, I kind of got a bit fed up of it, really, if I'm honest. I decided to kind of take a little bit of a break from wall painting and try and think of something that I could do at home in a studio, or a shedio as it became. And I'll tell you more about this place and more about these in my next video.